Avoidants don't break randomly for no reason. They don't reach out just because they all of a sudden feel like it. Something very specific has to happen before they break no contact and text you. And it happens within a very predictable window. So I'm going to give you the exact time frame and reveal how they're feeling when they reach out finally after weeks or months of silence. That way you'll be prepared instead of being caught off guard, because you don't want all your time in no contact to go to waste because you weren't expecting a message and you're caught off guard. You're like, what? Trust me, you are not going to want to miss this. I've been doing some studying, y'all. Hi, this is Lucia with The Art of Love. I'm a dating and relationship expert specializing in helping you get your ex back or to get over your ex. And welcome back, my beautiful no contact army. Have you been a good little soldier? If you have, then you've downloaded my app Silencio, which now I am proud to announce has a community feature, meaning you can interact with other people who are also in no contact and in the same boat you are, and you can post your stories or your comments and have other people respond, and I will be jumping in there and responding to the comments from the premium members. So just update your Silencio app or download it if you don't have it, and you can start chatting with everybody else in the no contact army. And the link to that app is underneath every single video and podcast. And if you too would like to join our army, as I just mentioned, all you have to do is hit the subscribe button and the bell notification, and you're in. And to read our manual, go to nocontactsecrets.com, where you can read 2 free chapters before you purchase the book. All right, let's get right into it. So avoidants break their own walls, and they reach out because they don't have the strength to keep them up anymore at a certain point. And this is all based on neuroscience and attachment behavior patterns. So avoidance can distract all day, but distractions die at night. And this is when avoidants feel the truth they've been running from all day. Because in the daytime, they can keep themselves safe by, being online, vaping, smoking, working out, talking to people, watching TV, running errands, doing routine stuff, whatever. Their avoidance works when they're busy, when there's noise. However, at night, the world goes quiet, and avoidance loses its power, and their brain starts to wander exactly where they don't want it to go, and that would be to you. Now, here's something that I found interesting. The prefrontal cortex, so this is the logical part of the brain, it goes offline around 10 p.m. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean we all turn into zombies at 10 p.m.? That's what I first thought when I read that. I was like, what? What do you mean? No. Although some of us do turn into zombies at 10 p.m., but no. What it means is that at night, the logical brain is less active and the emotional brain is more active. So the rational brain gets tired, as you know, right? You can't really do some deep thinking and work at night. And the emotional brain takes over. And that means that feelings go up, impulse control goes down, self-control goes down, fear is lower, avoidant defenses weaken, and anxiety feels more real. And this is why avoidants suddenly do the thing they've been afraid to do all day long, which is reach out. Also, cortisol, which is the stress hormone, it dips at midnight, the witching hour. So when cortisol drops, 2 things happen. Anxiety goes down and emotional vulnerability goes up. And this is when they think, oh, I miss her, I miss him. Oh, I should just text, or, oh, F it. What have I got to lose? And this usually happens between, here's the time frame you've been waiting for, 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. their time, okay? Not your time. So if you're in a long distance relationship, you have to calculate their time. And between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m., their guard is down, their self-control is at its lowest, their longing is at its highest, and their fear of losing you goes up. So this is when they check their phone, they reread old messages, they replay any voice notes you left for them, they wonder if you're sleeping, they wonder if you're thinking of them, they wonder if you're gone forever. This is a good thing. Avoidants get hit with the fear of loss at night because in the day they think, well, I'll just eventually text. Well, we'll see. I don't know. But at night, it's, well, what if I really lost them? What if I waited too long? What if there was someone else? What if they never text again? What if they think I don't care? So at nighttime, regret is amplified as well as longing, fear of abandonment, loneliness, silence. And this is all a good thing. Now, something else you need to know is that the nervous system cycles every 90 minutes. And 11 p.m., 1 a.m., and 3 a.m. line up with the emotional peaks. That's where those times come from. And the brain naturally hits emotional peaks in those windows, and that's why avoidants break, confess, apologize, send vulnerable messages, scroll old texts, and hover over the send button. I've never hovered over a send button. It sounds kind of funny, but that's what they do. Or they'll write and then rewrite a message and they go, no, that's not right. Let me rewrite this again. No, that's not right, So they're not thinking straight. They're feeling. And this pattern shows up in the thousands of avoidant case studies. Avoidants reach out late at night, especially after a period of silence, and it's almost eerie how consistent it is. Now, here's the interpretation of each time window and what it tells you about exactly where they are emotionally when they reach out. If they text at 11, now it's not going to be exactly at 11 always, It's like he texted at 11:03. Okay, that's fine. But this is the least intense scenario emotionally. It means that they were thinking about you during the evening. They were feeling nostalgic. They miss the routine of you. They're lonely, but they're not overwhelmed. They feel enough control to reach out earlier in the evening. Well, earlier than 3 a.m. anyway. Their fear threshold is lower. And if it's a guy, their alpha side is leading a bit more. So this is the stable missing you. If they text at 1 a.m., this is the vulnerability rising scenario. It means that they've been restless all evening. Their avoidance tried to shut it down. The silence got too loud. The emotional wave got stronger. And they finally reached the point of, well, I need to know where they stand. So this is longing and fear blending. And this is a deeper emotional reach out than the 11 p.m. version. And if they text at 3 a.m. their time again, this is the most emotionally loaded scenario. And it means they're fully in their feelings. They have fear, regret, longing, and attachment at its peak. They can't sleep. The silence is unbearable. They're spiraling. And they finally reach the point where fear of losing you is greater than the fear of reaching out. And this is the deepest emotional point. So a 3 a.m. text means, I can't keep holding this in. So this is the most sincere, most vulnerable, and least avoidant version of the 3 times. Now, you may be asking, well, what if they're asleep? My ex isn't up at 1 a.m. or 3 a.m. Well, most people aren't. However, here's the thing. Most people are not deep sleepers when their emotional world is unsettled, right? It's called sleepless nights. I'm sure we've all had them. And that's because the nervous system is saying, something's wrong. Don't relax too much. And that causes shallow sleep, early waking, middle of the night waking, or overthinking at odd hours. And this makes them reach for their phone because avoidants don't lay in bed spiraling like people who are anxious. They push everything away until their body can't suppress it anymore. And then the nervous system wakes them up because the silence is too loud. The day's avoidance has worn off. The subconscious pushes emotions forward and the nervous system hits a mini panic. So yes, anxiety will not keep them awake, but it will wake them up. And that is how avoidants break at night. So don't worry that your ex isn't up at 1 a.m. Okay, at night, they run out of defenses. They stop numbing. They stop hiding. They stop pretending they don't care. And that's when they reach for the one person whose presence touched them in a way that nothing else in their life does. that's when you get the message. So be prepared, be ready, do not freak out when you see the message. I know you will, but be calm and take a breath and remember what I've told you in all my videos about responding and not responding. And if you need help, of course, you can always contact me for coaching. But in the meantime, comment below how long you've been in no contact and how's it going. And if you do want coaching, you can contact me at theartoflove.net/coaching, and we will send you the rates. They're not on the website. If you found this video helpful, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss future videos. If you're listening to this as a podcast, also be sure to subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. And remember, love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.